There we go. Welcome to week 12 of ShowMeTheMoney preview. And we have a special guest, Mr. Grote, on the show today. Hi, Stephen.
How are you?
Yeah, all right. I thought Craig enjoyed this one, like so.
Well, yes. So, are we kicking off? Are we kicking off with some of these? Are we right? Let's kick off with some of these.
Well, here you go. You'll see it on the screen, Craig.
So we've got scheme team for Gordon.
Yes.
How did you manage to? Who's getting Gordon there?
Me.
Grote said, well, Foreman, and I took my 8th round pick to scheme team for Gordon and his 5th round pick.
It's a bit scary, really, isn't it? I mean, I take it done that before Gordon was winding Russell Wilson up to the max, yeah?
No, I took Gordon when he was actually gone. I took a punt because I thought, you know what? He's signed for the Chiefs already, is he not? He's in the Chiefs practice squad.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Somebody's got to take a punt at him, and to be honest, I'll take another 5th round pick.
Well, why not? Do you know? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're aiming for next year now, aren't you? That's not even half the dodgy one.
As soon as I went 1-4, it was season over for me. I just went, nah, hit the lot. And as I said last week, as soon as I got rid of, the first trade that I did with Sean was horrendous. I think I got a 3rd and a 5th for Lamb, Pittman, and Walker. And once them 3 went, I was left with absolutely 0. So I was like, there was nothing, not a tradable asset on my team, and the fact that I've got a Eureka 6th and 7th rounders for some guff I've picked off the waiver wire, I'm more than happy, to be perfectly honest.
I'm not surprised. Del Boy would be proud, that's for sure.
So there's some decent value. A lot of folk have got a lot of decent players for not very much, but I think I've got 1 pick after the 7th round next year. That's it. So
is that right? Yeah. So you're in your bed by.
I'll be done. I'll be done by the time I finish my pint, and happy with that.
Here's the big thing, though, and what you need to remember. What we need to remember: 1st pick and 8th pick. There's a big difference between 1st pick and 8th pick.
I've still got Warren kicking about. Harris will be out for a wee while, I think.
I'm hoping not, but okay.
Well,
still got Gus the boss. He'll carry me through.
Yeah, Gus the boss will do. He'll as long as he stays fit, obviously, he'll do you okay, I guess. Yeah.
Well, J.K. Dobbins is just coming off IR as well.
Van Jefferson's Van Jefferson's a wee sneaky one. If they do bring Stafford back for a bit, he could pull you in some points.
To be honest, I kind of took Jefferson in the hope that Stafford would be back. I thought, I knew he wouldn't do too much last week, but with Robinson being out, Cup being out,
yeah, exactly. He's number 1 now.
Jefferson's going to do okay. I think I wouldn't be stunned to see the Falcons bring in Ridder end of season. He's going to throw the ball about a bit more. London's going to be all right. He might carry me through.
You've got it all set out, eh? Number 1 pick.
I don't know. As I said, there's going to be guys in that constellation with a decent winning record. To be honest, there's probably going to be 1 or 2 winning records in that constellation bracket this year, so it's not going to be easy.
Well, if I can give you any hope, I was sitting exactly where you were this time last year, and I went and got number 1 pick, and I was sitting on about 1, 11, 2 and 10 or something stupid like that, and I managed to win all 3 in the playoffs. So there's one for you. But yeah,
right, next trade. What are we looking at?
So it's. I mean, the season is getting tight though, isn't it? I believe you've got the table there, Johnny. Give us a wee look at the table.
There we go. Your table.
It's so everyone's in it. Not one division's actually finished yet. I believe there's only 2 games to go, and only one division has a 2-win lead. That's Bluetown Patriots in the south. They've got a 2-game lead, but I'm sitting tied with Doug at the moment, and our Grote. And Fat Flying Eagles have got a game lead over Tartan Bears, and Eskimo Brothers just a game lead over Levion on a Prayer. One of them's getting in. But
well, that's your table there.
There's our table there, yeah. So it's 9-3, 9-3. 7-5, and
7-5.
Grotty's playing 2.
Well, in the brackets is your standings overall in the division. So Grotty's one ahead of me, but yes, one game ahead of me too. So
yeah, I mean, it was a great win for. Oh, it was an easy win for Douglas this week. Let's face it, Grotty.
I don't really like losing to Doug anyway, but I mean, just looking before the game kicked off, there was absolutely no chance I was winning that. Even
He's strong, isn't he? I actually take great heart from the fact that he didn't score 100 points, I've got to say.
Well, I must admit, once Etienne went down injured, I thought there's a moment there, and I thought I might have a sniff. We were kind of kicking about the 40 points mark, and then when the Chiefs kicked off late on, and Butler ended set off with like 11 or 13 points or whatever it is he had.
Yeah.
Going, nah, you're never.
That was that. Yeah, it's the old Mahomes and Kelsey partnership he's got in there now. Thanks, Mark.
That's a nice sweet partnership there. So.
But yeah, Etienne going down. That's a big one for him, though. Etienne going down. That would be if he misses time, that could be hurtful for him. But he does have Williams there on the bench. But yeah, Dougie boy's heading to the playoffs, so I guess we'll see what happens in there for him, eh?
I don't know if I can bear him winning again. I'd nearly rather you win, Craig. I genuinely believe that.
I actually do believe that because I know how bad he is. But I certainly took a wee leap towards one and having a chance anyway this year with a good win against Sean this week. Yeah, it was a good week.
Yeah, that's a cracking win, that one.
Jacobs is doing the business for me big time, and it's 42 points. You can't argue with 42 points in a non-PPR league, can you?
It's actually bonkers.
Yeah, that overtime run was crazy. Like,
it's injured him though, so that would not be good.
He was injured before the game.
Anytime. He can miss this week if he wants, but he can't miss another one.
You're a bit light in the running back set, you thought, yeah.
Yeah, well, Mixon should be back now. He's cleared protocol. He's back on the practice field, so he's back in this week. So I've got, obviously you've got to hope Jacobs doesn't miss any time, but I think Harris is fine. They're talking about him maybe playing on Sunday, and Nash is the number one. That's Warren slips into the couple of touches again. If Nash goes, it's as simple as that. And Barkley's happening with Barkley, Johnny.
Well, the offensive line's completely different from what it was at the start of the season, like, so they can't get any running lines.
He's just can't get the lane at all.
No.
But Herbert's back.
Not one, yeah.
Herbert's back. Allen's back. So they're, I've went and, I was watching everybody else go absolutely mental last week, trading here, there, and everywhere, and I thought I can't just get nobody. I can't get nobody. So I've went and picked up Mike Evans, and it's
come on, one here.
Proper buyer's remorse. Like, I'm not even going to lie.
It's Mike Evans. I know why you did it, because it's Mike Evans. I think I would have done the same, but it's like.
I mean, I know Brady's on the time, but they're going to win the division surely, and surely they're going to have to come, good at some point along the way. So that's why I went and done it. But Watson, it made me leave Watson on the bench this week, 17 points.
You look at the good matchups Evans had all season, though, and he's not, he's had his big weeks. He's had a couple of double-figure games, but essentially he's been 4 or 5 points most of the season. Yeah. And it is one of those ones you get drawn into.
I'm on live.
You get drawn into it because it's Evans, but in reality, it's.
I can't on TV.
I know. Do you know what the worst it is as well, bro? You see, the worst of it is I called at the start of the season. I said this will be the first year Mike Evans doesn't go 1,000 yards. I called it at the start of the season, and then I'm trading for him for the run in. So
he didn't cost you much, though, did he?
Sixth round. Doug's sixth rounder. That was the fruit that I waved at Mark. I said, "Come on, you can have us both from that trade." So he took it. Yeah, I've effectively given up a third rounder for Evans and Najee Harris, well, a third rounder in Bryce Hall for Evans and Najee Harris. So, yeah, I've done better trades in my life, but, you know, we live, we learn, and we move on. I'm still there. I'm still fighting, and I've got a good bench now. I'm actually quite happy that I managed to pick up Mike Gallup this week. He's one for, you know, I went and got more to keep him off other teams and add to my own, but he'll have good weeks, surely.
I think.
Well, you had a good week last week anyway, so.
You must have been ahead of me in the order because I bet exactly the same as you, and I went in like I've nearly got all my fab left, and I was going, I'm going to tank them all and Gallup definitely this week. I'm just going to tank it all because I was the same. I thought, you know, if I can pick him up.
I done it mainly to keep him off other teams. I don't think I'll ever start him, you know, but I'd seen the potential there. See, I was only going 20% on the thing, and I went in on my phone and I thought, that's only about $22. That's not going to cut it. But see, when you go in on your phone, it doesn't tell you how much you've got. So I just guessed a completely random number. So that was lucky. Yes.
I was just hoping to be that terrible guy, you know, the one that's heading to the consolations that's going to sweep up somebody decent in the waiver that somebody actually going for something was wanting. But I didn't get him. So
yeah, no luck. Good try. Better luck next time. But yeah, so that's, I'm in the playoffs too now. I'd love to win the division. I really would. It's so go easy on me this week, Groty, and I'll take on Doug for the title in week 14.
Yeah, that'd be a tasty one.
So we're heading off to the West now. So in the West, we've got Eskimo Brothers and Le'Veon on a prayer, and Scheme Team and the Madhouse G-Men down the bottom. But it's all about Eskimo Brothers. The Madhouse G-Men got a victory, Johnny.
Hey, I know. Catching up with you, Groty.
And it's a big one too, because Sean, what did I tell you? What did I say about blowing it, Sean? Like. Don't blow it, Sean. Yeah. He's blowing it. But I mean, to be fair to him, it's he's struggling, isn't he? There's no being fair to him, really. It's, Alan's still going, but he's needing some help.
This week.
He's 49ers. Alan's playing tonight against the Patriots. So, you know, he's hopefully going to get off to a start tonight. But it's who is it he's playing this week? He's got
he's playing the Scheme Team.
So this is the one he's really got to win, and then he's got to take it down to a winner takes all in the last week. But he's got to win this week against Scheme Team. He needs his 49ers to turn up, don't you think?
Yes, there it is.
I could do 1 and 2, to be fair.
Yeah.
Thing is, he's got a side there too, you know, but it's a bit like you, Johnny. He's got players that are kind of in and out. You know, like Tyler Lockett. He must be the most frustrating player ever to play NFL for me. Like every year he goes as a high.
No. Deontay Johnson is the most annoying player in fantasy.
Well, this year,
non-TP bloody are like. Even last year,
Deontay Johnson's a keeper, Johnny. For goodness' sake.
I read a stat today. He's in the most receptions this year without a touchdown.
Oh,
yeah, the most.
I think last year probably Jacoby Myers on my team had the most receptions without a touchdown. He never got one last year of Mac Jones. He got it off Devontae Parker or who was that? Bourne threw him a touchdown last year. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating. Like, but I think Harris is out again for me. So
yeah, he's out already.
He's definitely out.
Yeah, I had to scratch the free agency to try and find a running back this week.
That's no easy in this free agency.
It's not pretty in a 16 team. But
yeah, well, that will be music to Michael's ears because he's definitely going to be wanting to see you off this week to get it into a last week decider. Because remember, the winner of the division gets into the playoffs. Yeah, gets the fourth seed as well. One of these teams is going to be the fourth seed, and you know you never know what happens from there.
I know. I'm not playing just on Watson this week, so you might have a complete cracking game, but I'm not. I'm going to play Derek Carr against the Chargers because it's always a shootout at those games. So,
well, that's a brave decision, that's for sure. I see Pitts is officially...
He hasn't played for 2 years, so don't you we're going to get? Yeah, Pitts is an IR. So.
Yeah, he's done for the season now. That's official, though. So you're not going to see him again this year. That's
no
for sure.
Yeah, I picked up Noah Fant last week, so I played him last week, so he'll get a couple of points. So.
Yeah, he'll get a few points. That's that. And it's but I mean, Sean really needs Kittle to get some points. He needs Kittle to start coming alive. He'll need Samuel to be playing as well. He's got a big Q next to his name. What's up with Samuel?
He took a knock last week. Pretty bad knock, actually, but looks it. But I mean, you think it nearly could be bad because Doug's not mentioned it at all.
Well, he was questionable before last week, but yeah, he got banged up again. Like, but
it's
I mean, on Monday or something like that. So.
He picked up Perrine and left him on the bench. What a clown, eh? Come on, Sean. That wins you the game there. You know, that puts that puts you in the playoffs, that decision. You know, play Perrine, you're in the playoffs. Idiot.
It's crazy though, because early on it looked like he wasn't doing anything, and then just suddenly went bang. He was 20 points or whatever.
And
this is always the time of year that Perrine kicks off. He does it every year. He's like the guy I always pick up last few weeks. Every year I pick him up because he'll just. I think last year he went for like a 50-odd yard reception for a touchdown that scraped me into the playoffs. He's just the Bengals are good for that. Mixon they seem to give Mixon a few kind of rest games this time of year. Perrine's always I wouldn't actually be against, if I was Sean, I wouldn't be benching him next week. Yeah, I would still. He'll get game time, certainly more than Hunt, I would think.
He'll get game time for sure. But it's, I mean, if Mixon's on, because they're in a playoff race as well this year, they're no guarantee at the moment. What they sit in 7 and 5 or something.
Yeah, they've got the Chiefs this week, so they're going to need to win.
They are going to need. But it's. I mean, I'd probably start them as well, to be fair. And on the other side, Le'Veon on a prayer, starting a wee run here, over 100 points.
Yeah, so it's a good win.
Keeping himself in it. Yeah, I mean, he's got Smith, Connor, Robinson starting to take over in Washington. Godwin's, taking all up Evans' catches away. It's, I mean, Michael's not dead. Far from it, eh?
No, he had a good game of Thielen last week, did he not? So as well.
He did, he got a good 12 points off of Thielen. He's getting touchdowns is the thing, He's getting touchdowns. I mean, he had to play Cook in the flex last week, but he's got Cook sitting there on his bench. He's got Carter on his bench. Yeah, I mean,
he's got Cook playing this week because Connor's on a bye week.
Of course, yeah, Connor's on his bye this week, so it's but this is
Cook playing, so
he's going to be needing a victory against you, Johnny. Keep it going, get it into the next level.
Well, he's got 2 playing tonight. He's got Cook and Dawson Knox. So
meanwhile,
he should have a lead.
Yeah.
I've got Jacoby Myers tonight, but I'm waiting to see if he's actually going to play or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a queue there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been touch and go, but if he doesn't play, I'll probably chuck in Mac Jones or maybe Goodwin for Seattle. He seems to be getting a lot of catches as well at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well at the moment. It's
imagine having 2 Seattle wide receivers on my team. That'd be a bit scary.
And of course, Sean's got Allen playing tonight. He's going to need Allen to have a big night.
Yeah, so it could be a big step towards who's going to win that one, but we've got the South next. So.
Here is the South is a division that's looking the most settled in terms of the winner, but also has 2 teams still vying for playoff positions. Kirkwall Raiders 7 and 5, and Hyde and Zeke at 6 and 6. They're both pushing for the playoffs, and 2 wins should be enough to get them in. Maybe be enough to get them in. But first things first, we've got Bluetown Patriots up at the top. And, defending champions, looking good, going to be in the playoffs. And Kirkwall Raiders still chasing them down. No, they can still catch them. And it was a nice win against Rossi's boys are back in town, who at 5 and 7 now look pretty much dead. But it was a good win for Alan this week. Keeps them alive in the in the race for the division as well.
It does a bit, yeah.
He's got a problem at quarterback. No, he's got Aaron Rodgers sitting there. He's going to need to sort that out.
Or Daniel Jones.
He'll be playing.
He's got a pair of donkeys. None of the two you can. He's done them both. But I tried to do a trade earlier on, and the one thing he said to me, he says he would have done it if he thought it was one player away. But he says his whole team was just a little inconsistent. I think, that's probably right for a lot of the 7-5 teams that's kicking about there. Like Cadell Patterson, he could go for 25 points one week and then go for like a 7 he's went for this week.
Yeah.
Clausen the same. He's been in and out this year, which is kind of unlike Ayuk. Some week he'll drop half the things that's chucked at him. Next week they'll stick, and he's got 2 or 3 touchdowns. So it's
even Andrews has been pretty shaky that way this year. He's had his bit. Of course, he's had his big games, but he's had his off games as well, and he's missed games too.
His drop this week was about on Andrews' leg.
That was a bad drop. That one, that was awful.
I've never he just didn't drop then, and that was a howler.
But he got his wish from Wilson, that's for sure. He's got, hopefully, it seems that Wilson's that new boy's favourite as well now in New York. So if that could help him going into playoffs. I mean, it's like you say, it's a really good team. If they had a week,
yeah,
it's
a wee run and he's cruising. White at running back could be,
yeah. Because Fournette's looking hurt as well, isn't he? And the closer they get to the playoffs, the more they're going to park Fournette for them. So it's so I think it looks quite good for Allen at the moment. He's got he's sitting, he's 7-5, and who's he got this week? And he's got Graham this week, so it's a big one this week. If he wins this week, he knocks Graham out the running. So it's can pretty much solidify a playoff place this week with 1-1.
Definitely.
He'll need to change his quarterback. You can't go with Rodgers.
Against Washington? Nah. Rodgers will have a good game against Green Bay. That'll be it. Against Chicago.
Well, Rodgers owns Chicago, but that's... I don't...
Oh, that would be quite fitting after last year. He did have a complete howler when they lost.
I mean, it's one of those ones...
When I own you. So.
Well, I'm no fan of Rodgers, the man, but he is genuinely hurt. He has got a broken thumb. It has, it's...
Well, the Giants that did it too. Oops.
You're right, and he's going up against Mike White as well, so he's got great because Graham's picked up Mike White. Finally, Graham has had enough of Russell Wilson. I think 104.66, 83-36 loss to the defending champions. Song goes, see ya, Russ.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I officially give up. But yeah, his season's pretty much died with Russell Wilson, I'm afraid. So I'll be on to... well, it's not died. Sorry, I take it back. It's not died. He's 6-6 despite Russell Wilson. And if White can do it, if White can play well, he's got every chance of still getting in.
Well, he could potentially knock out Factory, depending on results. But if he wins...
And he's got Eckler there. Elliott's Dallas's favourite, no matter how well Pollard does, it seems.
Yeah.
Pickens is getting more and more in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I would definitely not be ruling Graham out despite the loss to the Bluetoon Patriots. But, Bluetoon have got boys are back in town this week and sitting at 9-3. They're actually holding the number 1 seed as well. So that's... that'll help them out. Although going in, it's said you're not going to get Sean or Michael because they're going to be seed 4. So it might be a tougher one than they think. But he's looking good. And ideally, I'd like him to lose again because I'd like the number 1 seed.
Well, you got a chance. Obviously, you might end up with. You could end up with.
Well, he's come to the projected quarterfinals. Him to play Kirkle Raiders.
You could play in the Raiders, or if Graham happens to knock out Sean, he could be playing Graham.
Could be Graham, yeah. So it could be that over the next 2 weeks he plays his quarter-final opponent.
Yeah, so
he's got Graham next week. Yeah.
That could be an interesting one.
Very much so. I think that this is, well, okay, the North is an interesting division, but
although Sean does have Grote in the last week, so I can't see that being a shock, to be honest.
I should have put a condition on me coming unless that there's going to be no cheap digs kicking in every 2 seconds here.
I'm actually surprised Craig's been quite tame. I think
I've been very tame. I think I've been very kind. He's been very insightful, that's why. But
well, after all, Craig wanted to do it at 2 o'clock in case you were pissed tonight. So
there's a possibility of that too. There's quite a big possibility of that because I'm off for the next 2 days.
Oh, yeah, happy days.
Well, that was where, yeah.
So, in fact, the final division to look at is the East. We've got Farts Flying Eagles and Tartan Bears racing for the title now, and Coping Badly Jets and Batman's Boobies heading for the consolations. But yeah, it was a win for, well, it was a shock loss for Tartan Bears and Coping Badly Jets, just throwing one in there.
65 points is like, wow, that's pretty bad for Joe. Like,
yeah, that's a slip from what Joe's normally doing. Let's just go and see what happened there. He
must have been bye weeks or something, has he? Because he has Ronald Jones in.
He's been absolutely flying, so he has. But Fournette injured, and yeah, but other than that, he got Kamara. He only got a point for Kamara.
I suppose he had 2 fumbles, did he not? It doesn't really help.
No. Gabe Davidson, he's another one. The Gabe, 1 week he'll go for 20 odd points, next week it's 3. It's just he's just a deep threat.
Yeah,
he must have back couple of weeks. Surely he's not been playing with Kamara and Fournette all season long.
That's what he's looking at. It's like, I thought it was bye weeks, but I just can't.
No, I can't. He must have had someone that went on to IR and they dumped him. He must have done. But yeah, I mean, he's sitting 8-4, looking very good for the playoffs. It's just 1 win required.
Well, he plays Ray this week, and obviously Graham plays Coping Badly. So the last week,
it's going to be for the title.
Sparks against the Tartan Bears. So
provided both win, but 65 points again from John. He might not win that game, but I mean, he's got St. Brown there. He's got Davies there. He's got Hill there. But I've got to say, of all the teams that are right up there, and flying, looking already in the playoffs, I'll take Draw and Joe. I'm not going to lie. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, you don't want to play Fark, so
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then the one I would love to avoid from this division is Farts Flying Eagles. I know I did get a victory against them in a couple of weeks ago, but that'll just fuel the flame, I think. And he's
the highest scoring team in the league as well. So
by quite a distance as well. It's not even close.
He does it every year. Farker always gets. He's always a big scorer, especially this time of year. He just seems to find a bit of form, and it just disappears come playoff time a little. But every year about this time of year, we're always talking about how he's just, he's got a chance, big chance. And his team this year, it does. It does look good. Like it does look like a good challenge. I know there's a few big teams out there, but I think
he did break the kind of spell. It broke a spell last year by getting to the Super Bowl. So this could be the year he goes one further. And wins it. It's as you say, his team's strong.
He might be he could be in trouble this week if Jackson doesn't play though, because he's got a backup quarterback.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are backup quarterbacks on the agency, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's not.
There's a few boys you can get rid of too,
Yeah, there's.
Get rid of Beckham.
Is Beckham signed for Dallas yet?
He's just doing the visits this week. Yeah. He's going to the Giants. He's back at the Giants. He's at Dallas. Where else is he's going? He's got 3 visits this week. Today, tomorrow.
They're not the Bills.
Bills, correct.
The Bills. And of course, Graham's going to be having Goddard back in about week 15.
Yes,
so that's a nice time to get back in your Arsenal. So
absolutely,
he's expecting him back week 15, so that'll be in time for the playoffs.
I mean, his wide receivers are, Adams, Higgins, Kirk. Yes, please. Tuck's been going really well too for Jacksonville. I mean, I know he's had his bad weeks, but he's been going really well. Yeah, Farks is might only be seeded 3, but yeah, I would say he should be seeded 1 right now.
Yeah, well, obviously that's the boy. Obviously, I predicted Graham a few weeks ago to actually win, and then all news lot went trade crazy, and he did bugger all.
You didn't have to do bugger all is the thing.
Well, no, because he's got Wilson, and obviously Austin Hooper has been catching a lot of passes for Tennessee, so
I can't emphasise enough how pissed off I am that I've done that trade now. Almost as pissed off as doing the Naj and Breece Hall one with Doug, honestly. I have not had a good year trading.
Yeah, but you're still up there, though. That's amazing.
I'm still up there. I'm still got my chance, but just 2 weeks to go. That's it. We're heading into the final straight now. It's coming down to the nitty gritty, and plenty to play for this week for everyone. So, well, okay, for most people. Sorry, present company excluded.
Yeah.
well, I would say you've got the 2 commissioners on next year, or GMs that are looking at next year, no this year, Craig. So,
well,
we've got the picks. So I've got early picks, so we'll get going. So.
You have got the picks, that's for sure. Not as early as you should have, right enough, when you were giving away Dalvin Cook and everything else you gave away, Grote, but you've got some early picks.
I think Johnny got more for Dalvin Cook this year than what I got from him when Johnny took him off me, and I thought he was done.
Yeah,
I got rid of him.
Yeah, you got a fourth.
You have him, Johnny, and then Johnny's got more from this time around, and he's 2 years later.
Yeah, to be fair, you did give him up for even less pennies than he did. Dalvin Cook's been awfully cheap in this league, right enough.
Yeah, I think he is from a Vikings.
I did find it the other day actually, and I think what was it? You got a fifth and a sixth, or a fourth and a fifth, or something like that. Fourth and a sixth.
Fourth and a sixth,
not a third. Yeah,
I think Cook is. I think this will be the.
And you got James Robinson, so
I certainly wouldn't be touching him next year.
You don't think so?
I'm not even convinced if he failed next year, I would take him in like a 6th or a 7th. I just think he's one of those guys that'll get you in bother next year.
You think? I don't know. I think he's one that's showing a little bit of longevity, which you don't get in that position often these days. Do you know what I mean?
I keep saying that, but then the ones that are kicking about at the minute, the Barkleys and the Henrys and Cook and Mixon, they're all heading year 3, year 4. It doesn't really happen very often, but there seems to be a few kicking about at the minute. But
yeah,
well, in fairness, Barkley hasn't played much in the last couple of years, so he's pretty fit.
Yeah. But normally these guys would be falling off edge of cliff.
Look at Henry last week. Henry did nothing. They stopped Henry last week.
I'll tell you what, do me a favour then, Grote. See in the draft Cook, will you? Because I'll trade you for him. I'll take him cheap, that's for sure.
You can have him for a third. You can have him for a third and a fourth. I'm going to see the running back next year. I'm going to join the club and go see the running back. I just can't. There's too much value kicking about that 5th, 6th, 7th round of running back. Sorry. There's too many injuries going to happen next year. There's too many guys going to fall off edge of a cliff, and I think I'd rather take a gamble on a rookie running back or a backup running back kicking about the 7th round next year.
So you'll be hitting up the wide receivers early next year, then? That's what you're telling us.
Pretty much. I'm giving my game away, but I'll be going.
So we'll have to cut this one off and then play it next year before the draft.
I'm not taking any chances. I'm not going to be left with Tannehill or Matt Ryan or somebody like that this year. It's been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, the quarterback position. It's an important position. It's the one position that you expect to get 20 points a week out of. You don't expect that from any other position. Yeah, I know you maybe do for some top players, but really the position you expect 20 points a week out of from quarterback, and if you don't get it, you're on the back foot straight away.
It's like when I first joined this league, that was always the thing. The quarterbacks would never go until late rounds, 7, 8, and then they all disappear. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the Mahomes come along and that kind of guys, and all of a sudden they just like Allen, Mahomes, Rodgers, they all just disappear. And it's like
many games.
Well, you can see that the guys that are at the top of this league this year, they're all got the big QBs. It's absolutely impossible to win without having some guy that's putting 25 points up every week. You just can't.
You need 20 plus from your quarterback position every week, and if you're not getting that, you're not going to be winning many games. That's I've always said that, you know, and it's but there are, you know, the thing about the position is most of them do get around 20 points a week, you know, even the kind of rubbisher ones, but there will be the weeks that they don't, and the weeks that they don't, you don't win, no matter who you've got. And you know, for me, unless you get someone like Jacobs going off on a 42-point week, you know.
But, you know, that's what I said with Tannehill. He said, I'd rather run with Tannehill and maybe get 18, 19, 20 points. Good week, might get 23, 24. But that's all I was expecting from Matt Ryan. When I drafted him, I thought, oh, you know what, he'll be all right. Chucks the ball about. But he's...
I think a lot of people thought he'd be all right with that O-line crossing the Giants.
I mean, Matt Ryan is done. His arm's done. He can't. You seen it just the other night there when they were in overtime and he was trying to throw to Pittman, and Pittman had come back to get it. Pittman was gone. If he could have just thrown that, it was touchdown. It was their game.
Yeah.
And Pittman had come back to get it.
Well, I mean, I blame Matt Ryan. I blame the decision to draft Matt Ryan on me trading away Pittman for pennies, because I was so mad at him and I was so mad at myself for drafting Matt Ryan that I was like, well, that's Pittman done. He's gone. There's no point in having him. You can go for pennies, right? You're not included in this trade. And then you're going, Lamb, he's nonsense. And it's like, so I was only really looking at that trade as being Walker. And then, you know, Pittman has been okay, but I think he's averaging like 6 points a game. Lamb's something averaging 7 or 8 points a game. So I wasn't too disappointed to get rid of them. But no, I fully blame my decision to draft Matt Ryan and me being reckless to get rid of that. A lot of them in that trade, because I was just so mad at myself.
Yeah, that's why. The note for next year: do not draft an aging quarterback. There's plenty of young ones in there.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh, definitely. Well, look at Fields now. Again, Fields started off absolute crap the last few weeks. Sort of get injured. He's probably one of the best running and throwing quarterbacks I had. So
he'll be one of the top five quarterbacks picked next year, Fields, for sure.
Well, it was the same last year when his name's went right from my head. Boy for the Eagles.
Hurts.
Yeah. You know, like he came in tail end of last year, was it 5 or 6 games he played last year, and he was like, couldn't chuck the ball, legs were there, just ran about. You know, you're sitting there going, what on earth's going to happen here? Is he going to be good? And then this year, was that 2 years ago? And then all of a sudden he just blows up. And Fields is the same. You know, he sat there tail end of last year, nonsense. This year, nonsense. And all of a sudden he just clicks. All of a sudden it's points everywhere, you know.
Yeah, that's
Hurts is a sore one for Craig after 175-yard rushing. That was a bit mental.
Well, it's one of those ones. There's only twice in history has a quarterback thrown for 150 yards and rushed for 150 yards, and it was both against the Packers. So you know,
was that Kaepernick?
Shh! Don't say the name.
Oh, he was. Well, I did not like Kaepernick. I don't mind Hurts, but I did not like Kaepernick. But sorry, Doug.
But it's so that's but that's the Packers. The Packers are shit. What can I say? Nothing else to say on that subject, really.
I mean,
anyway, guys, that was the week that was. That was week 12. We're heading 2 weeks to go. Let's see what comes of it. Every division's up for grabs, so there's lots still to play for. Let's see how this weekend goes. Good luck to everyone who's got something to play for, apart from Groty.
Well, we're playing for number 1 spots and see who we can get.
Well, you're playing for pride as well. The thing is, you got a lot to say about what happens in your division now, Johnny. You know, you could you steal a wee win and you win it for Sean. You know, Groty, you beat me this week and you're giving Doug a leg up. Just remember that when you're picking your team.
Don't worry, I am. I mean,
Craig, if you lose to Groty this week, I don't think you'll be on the podcast next week.
Probably
we'll be setting a search party for you.
I would think
especially
so.
With the two guests I got lined up for next week.
I'll be dialing in. I'll be phoning you mid stream if I beat you this week, Craig.
Groty, If you beat him this week, you're going to be the extra guest on next week for next week.
Yeah, if you beat me next week, if you beat me next week, this week you'll be on instead of me next week because I'm going on. I swear to God, I'm not.
We'll get you live from outside Craig's house to see if he says anything to say for himself. A roving reporter.
He'll not be here.
I'll be up in the fridge, mate.
I'll be getting a room at the hotel for the night.
Oh, well, good luck this week anyway, guys.
Yeah, good luck. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers for coming on, Grotty.
Cheers, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.
See you later.